Om Tat Sadakyam Purusham Guhesham Bhaktathilashaya Shariravantam Moda Swarupam Madhura Swabhavam Tvamatmanadham Ramanam Bhajami Tvamatmanadham Ramanam Bhajami. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya.
తర్వాత ప్రవచనము శ్రీ రాజీవ్ కపూర్ వారిచే వారు ఉపదేశారం మీద ఉపదేశిస్తారు. సో అవర్ నెక్స్ట్ ప్రవచనం విల్ బి ఆన్ ఉపదేశారం బై శ్రీ రాజీవ్ కపూర్ గురూజీ, who is stationed in Shamirpet, Hyderabad.
Namaskaram ji.
Namaskaram. Swamiji, namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Is it possible to put the video on?
Sure. You please switch on your video. I'll make adjustments.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You are visible. You are visible.
I can not yet visible, but I should be. Probably. Am I visible? Yes. Or you can see me?
Quite visible.
Quite visible. Wonderful. Thank you. Namaskar everyone.
Anyway, namaskaram. Hearty welcome to you for our platform.
Thank you, Sri Lavanya Garuji, for inviting me over once more for this, especially on this auspicious, very auspicious day here. So I want to thank you and all the organizers from Saket Ramana again to invite me here. Before I speak, of course, on the verse on Upadesa Saram, I would first like to pay our homage at the feet of our divine beloved Sri Ramana Maharshi. So let's just gather for some time and let's chant a little mantra, Guru mantra. Please with me, with the eyes closed or open as you feel. Om Akhand Mandalakaram Vyapatam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yen Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Keeping Sri Ramana Maharshi ji in our heart. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. 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 We bow at his divine feet. Bhagavan. Okay. So, Upadesa Saram. The beautiful 30 verses that was composed and arranged by Bhagavan. Amongst all those 30 verses, My favorite verse, actually all of them are gems, but what I am going to speak about is verse 28. It is very near to my heart, very, very, very close to my heart. And why? Because it is one of the most motivating. At the same time, it is a little bit challenging and a humbling verse. And I'll explain why it is so. The verse goes like this: Kim Swarupam Ityatma Darshane Avyaya Abhav Purna Chitta Sukham. So what this means is that it describes, the verse begins with a question. What is the nature of the self? Kim Swarupam Ityatma Darshane. What is the nature of the self? And then he goes on, the verse goes on to explain Avyaya Bhava Purna Chitta Sukham, which means that Kim Swarupam Ityatma Darshane is a question. Avyaya Bhava means it's eternal, imperishable, changeless, without decay. Purna Chittam. Purna Chitta Purnam means complete in itself and full of bliss. That is a verse. Now why it is motivating is because it shows us, it gives an introduction to who we really are. That we are imperishable, we are changeless, immutable, we cannot decay, we are unborn, we are eternal, and we are complete. Means we don't need anything to complete ourselves, and we are full of bliss. And why it is little challenging is, when I was doing the commentary and translation of Upadesa Saram, I found this for the reader challenging, because it also tells us how far we are from that goal, isn't it? Now, when we hear this verse, this shloka, it moves into our heart, if we allow it, because it is a direct validation of who we really are. But at the same time, it is little abstract, right? What does it mean? Because we are so consumed by objective knowledge. We have perfect knowledge of all the objects around us. But what about the subject? What about this I? What about the self? That's why it is challenging for us. And it is also abstract. Like, we can't wrap our minds around what it exactly is. It's not part of a normal, ordinary person's consciousness and awareness is not on that. Because we see change around, we see perish, everything is getting destructed. So how is it? So in that sense, it is a little bit challenging. But let me explain this in my way, right? In the way that I thought, so that it can be, trying to make something that is so unique, trying to put it into words is very difficult. But I will make an attempt out here with the Ashirvad of Ramana Maharshi ji. So let's see what Bhagavan has to say. Now, see, let's say that this is a jar. You can all see it's a jar, right? It's an empty jar, right? I'm here in India, in Hyderabad, and supposing, and next week I go to United States of America. I'm traveling. So what I would decide is, I'll take some space from here in the jar. This is the lid. I close it and put the space here in it, right? When I reach America, after 24 hours or 22 hours of journey, if I open this jar again, I will see, even now, it's the same space. And when I'll open there, it will be the same space, right? No decay, no destruction, nothing. And not only that, after 10 years also, if I open, it will be the same space. After 50 years also, if I live that long, I don't know, but then also it will be the same space. If I tell my grandchildren that when you become grandfathers, that time you open the jar, it will be the same space. Get the point? That is self. Now, if I take this apple and I put it in, and I take this apple there to United States, even after 24 hours, you will see that it is not the same apple. There must be some decay there. After 1 week, it will start to decompose. And by the time it is 1 year, you will not see the apple only. It's gone. So let us understand this through this analogy of what Bhagavan is trying to say. That we unfortunately identify ourselves with the apple when we should be identifying ourselves with the indestructible, imperishable self, Atman. That's the thing. Now, it is, of course, it requires a shift in the way of our understanding of our own self. So, how are we going to achieve this or attain this state of what Bhagavan is talking about or what is given in the verse? How can I find myself to be imperishable, indestructible, eternal, changeless, and not be subject to the decay of time and space? Just like this space inside. How can I feel myself to be that? And that is the goal of our life, our spiritual life, or any of our human life should be that, to realize that self. But the big question here is how? How? Bhagavan first thing says that you don't need to attain the self. There is no question of attaining something that you already are. So the first thing you have to say, it is not a question of effort. Now you see many people around who tell put effort to get self-realized, put effort here, put effort there. But that is not the way that Bhagavan advocated. The effort is not required to realize yourself. It's like sleep. Do you need an effort to sleep? No, we don't need an effort to sleep. We just lay ourselves, relax ourselves, and we are into sleep state. We are into sleep. Same way, if we have to realize ourselves, the first important thing is learn to relax and sink into yourself. Learn to do that. Just relax. That is as clear as that. The first instruction is that effort will not let you reach there. Neither anything else will help you to get there. Now, what does that mean? You know, as a teacher, as a guru, I meet many people from different backgrounds, especially from spiritual backgrounds and traditions. Some of them worship Shiva, some of them worship the goddess, some of them worship the chakras, some of them Kundalini experience and everything. They are doing all these practices, and I have tremendous respect. I myself come from the Kriya background, so till I met Bhagavan, so I have respect for that. But the thing is that all these techniques or deities or rituals are not required in Atma Vichara, in the way that Bhagavan talks about direct self-realization, knowing yourself directly. All of them tell to go from one place to another. Oh, this technique will make you reach some place. But here it is not like that. It's like saying that if I have to go from here to Haridwar, someone will say, I'll take you by car, by road. Best car, I'll give you. This is my technique. Another modality will say, listen, I have got an aeroplane for you. That aeroplane will make you reach there. Third will say, I have got a jet for you. Why you want to go to an aeroplane? See, fastest, quickest way, I'll reach. But what if you're already in Haridwar? You need to go anywhere? No, that's Atma Vichar. You're already in the self. You're already positioned yourself. You're already here. That is the fact that the thing is that we feel we are not. That is a problem. This ignorance is knowing, feeling that we are not already the self. We are not realized already. Now, when I say this, it does not mean that effort is not required at all. Then inquiry will have no meaning. No. There also Bhagavan very categorically says, effort is required not to attain the self or to reach anywhere, but to remove the ignorance that we have had, the distractions, the obstructions that we have unfortunately engaging with or associating with. Let's say that take the case of sleep. I can sleep very well. We can all sleep very well. It doesn't require an effort to sleep. But what it does require is an effort to remove the obstructions. I must keep my cell phone away, the gadgets, the computer, and all of those things away. Once I put them away, sleep will automatically come. Similarly, when I keep all the obstructions away of the ego away from me, the seeking of the ego, what it wants, the sense of incompletion that the ego tries in order to complete itself, if I ignore that, if I know how to handle the arising of my tendencies and vasanas, and I can put them aside, the self is already, I will come to know the self is already shining. So it is not about attainment, it's not about reaching anywhere, but it is about knowing and realizing that the only effort that we need is to watch the ego, the I, as it comes, and what it tries to latch on to, what it tries to associate with, and then to become aware of the seeking, and then move, ignoring that, you will see that the self is automatically here and now in this very present moment. So that is the beauty of Bhagavan's teachings. So the important thing here is you remove the noise from your life, the noise of the ego, and immediately you will be able to find yourself, placed yourself in the center of the self. Now, for that, the important thing is to know the difference between the foreground and the background. What is foreground? Foreground means everything that is happening ahead of you. And where is the self? Little bit in the background. As a witnesser, you must first know and understand that there is a witnesser, a witnessing that is happening at all times. Your thoughts are witnessed. Your emotions are witnessed. Your desires are witnessed. The story that you are going through at this moment of time is witnessed. Your body is witnessed. Everything is witnessed by this eternal witnesser that is there at the background. And all we have to do is to associate ourselves, identify ourselves more with that background self, the one that sees everything arising and going, coming and going, coming and going, arising and falling, coming and going. Thoughts come and go, emotions come and go, stories come and go, situations come and go. Everything is coming and going. Where are you? Where am I? Where is his I? So asking yourself again and again, okay, I desire, something has come. Asking this question, to whom has this desire come? And then as you ask this question, you come to this center, I. And as this I, you don't have to answer who this I is. Just simply become aware of the feeling of I. That's it. And then there is this silence, this pause. And in this pause is you, the real I, the real self. So, you see, you can do this little bit. You can just simply recall a recent fear or some worry that you had. just 1 week back, or in these few days, we all must be having something that we are concerned with, isn't it? There is a story. Ask, to whom is this story arising? Don't leave this opportunity. Don't go unconscious. Oh, let it be. The real devotion to Bhagavan is practicing the Atma Vichar, the direct way. And ask whom it is to happening to. And then you will notice that there is this awareness on which every worry, every fear is coming and going, coming and going. And one day you will see and you'll get fed up with this story. What is this? Coming and going, coming and going. Let it be. I am happy to be in my state of self-awareness, in this awareness. And that is Bhagavan. And then we will realize what it means to be eternal. These are not just concepts. These are not abstract knowledge. This is the real realization of a person, of a people who walk the path of Atma Vichara. And it is so simple because it doesn't require any rituals. It does not require any deity. Though we must have tremendous devotion towards everyone. It's fine. We must have respect. We must never rule down any deity or any god or anybody. We must do our whatever disciplines you are following, fine. But from where is this deity arising? From where anything is arising? That you must keep coming back to the real center, and then you will be real. Then we will be real devotees of Bhagavan. This is the message I wanted to, through the blessing and the grace of Bhagavan. I wish all of you we all can.
Yes, Rajiv Kapurji has rejoined. So we will have a question and answer session.
Yes, namaskar again. I
Okay.
am terribly sorry for this, but the internet has been very sketchy here, where I am at the moment in Shamirpet. So I hope it's fine. I would love to take it.
So video is not necessary. We'll have audio only.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
questions will be answered.
Okay, perfect. Yes.
తర్వాత ఈ సెషన్లో ప్రశ్నలు జవాబులు, క్వశ్చన్స్ అండ్ ఆన్సర్స్ ఉంటాయి. సందేహాలు ఉంటే వారు క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగి సందేహాలు తీర్చుకోవచ్చు. మీరు మీ అంతటి మీరే అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని క్వశ్చన్లు అడగవచ్చు. So our next session is question and answer session. Sri Rajiv Kapurji will answer the questions which are posed by the participants, and they are free to ask any question regarding the self-inquiry or Upadesa or whatever it may be concerned with Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. They will be in the muted state. They can unmute themselves and ask the question.
Yeah, any question? Yeah.
And Malini can start.
Namaskaram, Guruji, Rajiv Kapurji.
Namaskar, Malini ji.
Yes, and firstly, on behalf of Lavanya Rao Garu and the Ramana Satsang, we would like to profusely thank you for this very subtle and lucid explanation and breakdown of the verse Kim Swarupamiti Atma Darshane, the 28th verse of Upadesa Saram, which you said is so close to your heart. And equally endearing was this very subtle example where Guruji आपने बताया कि जैसे you give the example of this bottle where you fill in air and
Yes.
take it across places, and yet it remains imperishable and indestructible, as against when you put in the apple, which was kind of an analogy to the physical body of ours.
Correct.
And thank you so much for splitting it down so simply. I don't have a question per se, but this is a constant tussle which I think I can talk only for myself. I keep having, because I think we live in a mundane world surrounded by so many different tags that we are given, that of a daughter, a mother, a wife, a daughter-in-law. So how I wish the moment we are born, we are introduced to this ideology which makes us separate from that wrong being which we are constantly being associated with. So
Yes.
suddenly, at 30 or 40 or 50, we come to terms with the reality which is not us. So you very rightly put it out, Guruji, saying it's, as Bhagavan said, it's not an effort, it's there. But then it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yes, yes, I know. It's because of the Maya, the illusion. You know, it is, we take ourselves to be what we are not. But again, it's we don't have to shun any of the rules that we have been given in this world. So you could be a daughter, you could be a daughter-in-law, you could be son, father, mother, whatever. Atma-vichara, as Bhagavan says, is not in conflict, with anything in life. It is about just remembrance that yes, as we are discharging our duties in the world, we need to also keep our inner eye, inner vision, holding the sense of I, this permanence. So while we are engaged into the world, it's important to again. The trouble with most of us is this, that when we get consumed with the world, with everything, we tend to forget. Forgetfulness becomes a nature more than remembrance. So it is about remembrance from time to time. Okay, now today we have this, in this world we'll always have this mundane world, as you very rightly said. Mundane, why? Because it's mundane. It's not that important, right? But because what's more important is a self. That's the most important part. Is that as long as we remember that the self is the most important component of our existence, that knowing the self, realizing the self, and being and abiding in the self is the most important thing, everything else will remain mundane only. Right? So the mundane should become a part of our knowingness. It should be part of our experience of life. Yes, I am a father, I am a husband, I am whatever roles I have to play. These are all additions to my real self. They are not me. They don't define the real me. So once I go out into the world and we start doing things around, we must not get so caught up into the activities only. But again, Atma Vichar is not against the activities. No. It is not saying stop anything. Yeah. It is just saying, just remember me, I am there. That's the most important. Can you hear me? Yes? You got it?
Yes, very much, very much.
Yes, yes. So it is just our conviction on the path. So, and here it does not require anything. We don't need to do any rituals. We don't need to go to any, to do anything. We just need to be very extremely honest and authentic to ourselves. This is what is the reality, what Bhagavan is pointing out to be. This is as important as breathing, as important, more important than food, more important than anything else in the world. So while I am discharging my duties, a part of me comes back again in the midst of activity. First it becomes, you try to retreat, you try to go back to yourself. Like after you have remembered, you'll keep forgetting. We'll keep forgetting it. But then remembrance will become part of our nature, right? So initially it will be like we are engrossed into the activities, we forget. And then after a few days we'll remember, oh gosh, I forgot to be abiding in myself, or to come to this I, to ask this question, to whom it is happening, or to just sink into the self. I will forget it again and again and again and again. But then as I start to give this priority, I will start doing this in the midst of activities also. And that is where the beauty of self-inquiry, Atma Vichar happens. Then the life completely transforms with the grace of Bhagavan. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For a beautiful explanation. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Next, anyone? Please come forward.
Hello. I had a question, if I may.
Yeah.
I'm Manish from Mumbai. I had a question for Rajiv ji. Is somebody witnessing the witnesser too? Because sometimes with the witnessing happening, there's a sound from the ego saying that I am witnessing all this. So is there a witnesser behind the witnessing also?
See, this is a question that usually people, because when they over intellectualize thing, that question happens. Not that you are doing it, so I'm not pointing the finger, but I understand the mind moves into this. Okay, I am witnessing it. Then who's witnessing the witnesser? Then who's witnessing that witnesser? Who's witnessing that witnesser? That kind of a thing. So this is the endless seeking of the mind only, nothing else. Just like how the mind keeps seeking objects upon objects. So you're happy with one car, then you want two cars, then you want a bigger car, then you want a house, then you want a bigger house, then you want, so and so forth. We want that. It's the same tendency of the mind and the ego to keep seeking things. So again, it does the same trick. Mind is doing the same trick what it does outside. It does the same trick with you when you start to do inquiry. Who is the witnesser of the witnesser? No? So what Bhagavan is saying, what Bhagavan recommends, and I would suggest, is that once you reach to this state where there is silence, this pause, consider that to be it. That's all. Then the mind will interfere with that. It will try to come and across and ask you something, or tell you, or misguide you, or distract you into something else. Don't get distracted, because that is just the part of the ego. That is a part of the illusion of the ego, to create more stories for you inside also. That's why all experiences are not the self. They are external to the self. Correct? Similarly, all questions also, what Bhagavan says is, just come to the feeling of I and stop there. Now no need to go back into anything. It will automatically unfold. How you deepen into your recognition of yourself or realization of self, and how the grace of self works, will automatically happen. Once you do, you come back to this I only, this one first witnesser only. Don't go back into anything else. That is a play of the mind. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes, the feeling of I is more important than
that
the
is
chatter
all.
of mind.
Exactly. The chatter is of the mind only. That is trying to externalize the experience. Because the mind is saying, you're not getting that experience. You're not getting the experience. Maybe you need to go more deeper into the witnesser. Not like that. You're already that one witnesser. You be into that subject. Hold to that subject only as I. And stay there for some time. It will be a little pause, a little silence. Then that silence will start growing in your life more and more. And then it will start to embrace all activities of your life. Then it will envelope everyone else around you. So it is a magical thing. Right? That's how it is. Okay, I hope I have answered.
So next, please. Anybody?
Gurudev, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Yeah. Your name, please.
Subhashini.
Oh,
Yes, Subhashini, tell me.
question.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, Gurudev. Should a sadhak has to put some effort to live in a peaceful environment and with like-minded people when the world current is so very powerful? Gurudev?
Again, this is the external requirement that the mind imposes on us from time to time. The requirement, as Ramana Maharshi, Maharaj, Bhagavan says, is your intention to do self-inquiry. It can be done in heaven and it can be done in hell also. Wherever you will do, you will make it. You liberate yourself there. It does not require any external situations. We should try to make it as conducive as possible, but we must not fight over it. We must not struggle over it. Because the most important part is the inquiry itself. That alone is going to liberate you. Supposing you go to some other place and there you will find something else that is not conducive to your requirement, then will you keep switching places and people? No. So, when the mental tendency becomes such that I have to, make situations like this which will facilitate my self-inquiry, then you are already going into the trap of the ego and mind. Instead, what I would suggest, nothing wrong in changing the situation, nothing wrong in it. So please be, what I'm trying to say here is, let the grace of self shine automatically on you, and let the Bhagwan's grace change the situation around.
Okay.
But you don't put too much effort into it. Our effort should only be how to abide into the self and to remove all the distractions that contaminate our self-abidance. That's all.
Yes.
And those are not external, by the way.
Yeah.
When I say contamination or into the self is not external. You can be anywhere in the world and do, in whichever place an inquiry you can do, whichever situation that you are put, inquiry is for that. If inquiry was only subject to conditions like place and situation, then what is the worth of that inquiry? Then it doesn't have the strength. So you do with purna atma, with full conviction of your mind, of the atma bal. Do the inquiry. That's all.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So anybody else?
Namaste.
Namaste ji.
I'm Pratyush from MP. Rajiv sir, can you explain the recent format you have put the 222 inquiry?
What is your good name, please?
Pratyush.
Pratyush. Okay. You are from?
Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh.
Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Yes, Mr. Pratyush. Yes. Tell me what you want to know about the Advaita 222 self-inquiry.
You said we have to just observe the ego, and when the ego moves towards pleasure or the comfort, now we have to just let it go, and it will come back to the emotional feeling. But this is the first part.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. Okay. So see, the Advaita 222 is not in contradiction with any traditional forms. It is just a form of inquiry which I have formulated for people who want to be in the world also, because we are in the world, right? And ego works in a way that it can trick us. It can really trick us. So the two core tendencies of the ego is basically to seek comfort and to seek tension, which is the two core. That's what I have written there and in the program, that whenever you move into an object, right, there are two approaches. Either you ignore the moving into an object and come to the sense of I, which is what Bhagavan is suggesting and Maharaj suggests. Nisargadatta Maharaj. That's basically the classical Advaita Vedanta, the classical way to do self-inquiry, right?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
what I have just little bit, modified it slightly, because we are into the world also, right? So we are doing
Yes, sir.
things in the world, So when we go into the world, it is possible that our ego will not cooperate for us to move into directions, in that other direction, because it's required for us to move with the ego into the world and do our things and accomplish things for ourselves and for our family members and for those people. And why not? Why not, right? At
Yes,
that
sir.
moment of time, inquiry can be done beautifully also, embracing the sense of I, while at the same time, while I completely encourage the holding the sense of I, but at the same time, I also say that watch out to the ego, what the ego is trying to do here. So the ego will always try to bring two motivations. The ego's motivations are two. One, it is seeking comfort and pleasure. You look at anything in your life, from morning to evening, your thoughts, where are they?
Yes, sir.
You watch.
Seeking comfort.
It is sorry?
Seeking comfort.
It is going to seek comfort. So we cannot deny this. This is universal law, that this is what the mind does, this is what the ego does. Correct? Absolutely correct. Now, it is thus not seeking comfort. It's also trying to avoid pain. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You see, there are two things, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
both of them mean the same thing only, because when you're trying to seek comfort and pleasure, you're also trying to avoid pain, and we don't want the other part. But life is not like that. Pain will inevitably come, no matter what, whatever we do, right?
Yes,
But we don't want to make the pain the suffering. So there's a difference between pain and suffering, right? Okay, because pain is concerned with the body, suffering is concerned with our understanding.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Now, as we watch the I moving into pain, pleasure and comfort and pain and contraction, which I call contraction, self-contraction means basically you start to feel a sense of tension in the body,
Yes, sir.
right? As it arises, you just ask this question, is it seeking? Am I seeking this? So these are two questions that you ask 6 to 8 times in a day. And when you do this, it helps you to come back to the sense of I. This is my experience. So we can continue to do our work into the world, and we can continue to look after our body, we can continue to look after our family, we can continue. There's no conflict, you see. There's no conflict.
Yes, sir.
We move into the world, we try to achieve things into the world. Why is it that the world and all the beautiful things and all the progress and all the things are only for materialistic people? Why can't it be for spiritual people? It should be more for spiritual people, because we should have the power in us to also do things into the world. We should make the changes in the world also, on a very relative level I'm talking about, not absolute level. Please understand, Pratyush, what I'm saying. I'm not in conflict with world. I'm not in conflict with that. What I'm saying, if you have to achieve the Bhagavan's vision, if you have to achieve Bhagavan's Atma Vichar way, then I think Advaita 222 helps in that, because we go into the world also prepared that what the ego will do. So the ego will seek comfort and the ego will seek tension, both the things. Now, as I ask that question to myself and I come to the emotional, as you put out very correctly, you said, very nicely you said, that means you have read the Advaita 222, that's why. So there the emotion field will appear to you. You will understand the emotion, the kind of tension that will be there in your body, right, which you're holding.
Yes, sir.
That tension needs to go from your body. That needs to be released.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
you must not bypass that. So before you come to the I am, in my opinion, my humble opinion, without any contradiction with anything, with the traditional way of that self-inquiry, my way is you release that emotional field first, that emotional charge that we have in our body. Come to a state of emotional neutrality and then see the power and grace of what Bhagavan is talking about. See that. You will see the difference.
Yes, sir.
Make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, isme, like in the second part, why our mind was tension? Like when I ask
Yes.
me, am I mind seeking tension? My mind
Yes.
says it is avoiding tension.
Yes, that is the thing. That is what the, see, I'll tell you a very example. See, thing is, we should make self-inquiry very, very practical in life, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me one thing, that in your last week or something, didn't you have some kind of conflict or some kind of tension around with people around you? Must have happened, no?
Obviously.
Correct, no?
Obviously, yes, sir.
Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And in that particular thing, you would say, I was trying to avoid tension from, I don't know if you're married or not, but I'm just saying, anything in your life, whether it's your brother, sister, mother, father, or your work, or your boss, you will see that Pratyuksh, that there is always this little bit khichatani, means little bit of tension that is arising, right? Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
from his point of view, the other person's point of view, he's right or she's right. From your point of view, you are right. Correct? Right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
where we don't meet.
Right.
That's why we don't meet, because our our thought patterns clash with each other. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Agree with this? Yes, you agree with this.
Yes.
Now,
Yes, sir.
what I am trying to say is that this is the seeking mechanism of the mind itself. Your mind is trying to convince you that you are always right. His person's or that person's mind is always convincing that he is right or she is right. Right?
Yes.
So unless you are married, in which case she is always right. Let me tell you that. So I take that out. But in any other case, the ego will always say, no, you are right. Hold on to that. So the conflict will always be there. What I am saying is, try to see through this. Don't get emotionally charged about it. It is just a pattern. One conflict will be resolved, another will come. That will be resolved, third will come. This is our life. Is it not so? Whether it is concerned with body or with anybody else, it's always there. So tension is a part of our life. We cannot say there is no tension. We must not deny that. But at the same time, it is not real. It is a part, it exists, but it is not real. That is another part. But in the relative field, it exists. And it exists as an emotional problem within me, as an emotional tension within me. Is it not true? Now the only way to resolve that is not through resolving conflicts all the time externally. That is not going to happen, because the world is not like that. One thing will go, tomorrow something else will come. So the best way that I am suggesting here, as a modify, as like an amend, as a, like breaking down of Bhagwan's method, is to come to this emotional field first and release this by asking this question: am I seeking comfort? Am I seeking contraction? And you will answer inside, yes, it will happen. If you are perpetually trying to trying to create, sometimes we just want to create more stories around. It happens.
Yes,
it may be a small thing, but we try to do more. We give it too much more weightage. Correct? So at that moment, it will silence that motivation. The moment you ask that question, am I seeking tension? Even though you are trying to seek comfort here, you are trying to seek resolution here, but our way of seeking resolution is through conflict, through fight, through an argument. You watch yourself. See if I'm saying correct or not. Watch.
Right, sir.
You are always trying to convince you are right. We are always trying to do this. And so we must come to the space. In that space, we will ask this question to ourselves. Before we go and try to resolve things outside, ask this question first. Am I seeking this tension? And when I ask that question to myself, I become emotionally neutral. Now when I become emotionally neutral, now I have clarity to think what I should say to somebody. So it's a very practical tool. It is not just about coming to the I am. It's about also dealing with people, situations, and the work things that is happening in your life, and the conflicts that are taking place in your life day to day. Once you release the emotional field, emotional charge within you, now you can go and meet to the world, and you can do whatever resolutions and things, and you can come to know, and also you can come to your sense of I am and practice what Bhagavan is also saying. So I have just broken self-inquiry into two parts. One, coming to the sense of I, subjective awareness of the I, at the same time also understanding the motivation of the ego or the conditions of the ego through Advaita 222.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Sir, can we also apply, like, when we see news and when we see conversion, many things are like when we see news and when we see like Hinduism, like people attacking Hinduism, and lot of emotional charge builds up. Like, can we also apply to that condition?
See, now again I'm saying, are you really a Hindu or yourself? What Bhagavan is saying. I'm not against Hinduism, I am myself a Hindu. But tell me, is that what Bhagavan taught? That you are a Hindu?
No.
Where is it written that? No, then.
No.
If you are following the path of inquiry, why are we making these distinctions? These are all games of the political parties or the religious people, or sorry, not, I know, all the, it's a political thing. Let's not get, and create more divisions between the society. One religion will speak against the other, then the other will speak against another. No, Bhagavan never said in any place that you are an Hindu. Show me where he said it. Right? He always maintained one thing, yourself. Finish. That's it. Remove all other. So he is trying us to remove this ignorance that we have.
Yes, sir.
Right? So
Right, sir.
your blood is boiling because someone has said something about, because today it is going on in the newspapers like that or in the media like that.
Yes, sir. It's continuous.
Oh, जाग जाओ, हिंदू जाग जाओ. अरे फर्स्ट तुम आत्मा से जाग जाओ,
जी
वो
सर.
फिर बाद में जागते रहना.
जी सर.
करेक्ट है ना? आप पहले उसमें जागो. आप पहले अपना फ्रीडम में जानो. बॉन्डेज आपका जो है, जो आपका बंधन है, उससे हटो. फर्स्ट गेट rid of your the bondages that you are having in your life. The bondages are not happening from any other religion, not happening from Muslim or from a Christian or from a Parsi or from somewhere else. The bondage is happening from our own ego. What about that? First, let's do that.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
even I noticed it was India versus Australia final 2003 World Cup, and I was feeling very sad because India lost, and then I noticed the emotional charge, because I was identifying with the Indian, so I am thinking I am lost.
Exactly. So that is supposed to be only a play, entertainment. Even the players are not feeling that bad losing to Australia as we are feeling.
Yes, sir, right.
Even they are not feeling. So it is a trap. All of these identifications are trap. Okay. So you must be very watchful of it, how you identify with all these names and things and forms and these kind of conditionings that we are getting, and being fed all these things in the name of nationalism and these religions and all those things and divisions and all that. We must not appreciate these things. In fact, we don't have to go around attacking anybody. We must, as Ramana Maharshi, as Bhagavan has recommended, be in silence, observe the tendency of the ego, come back to the I. Simple. And you see yourself what quality of life you will live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes?
Thank you, Pratyushji.
Yes.
Thank you very much for participating in the question and answer actively. So, anybody else left? So, I think all are covered.
Well, fine, perfect.
So,
very happy to be here. Thank you, Lavanya Garuji, and everyone here for your patience and your time. And I shall now take your leave.
I must thank you because you spending your time here. Then at any time you are welcome. The platform is yours. It is already always open. Not today.
Thank you. I feel this as my own. Thank you very much, and thank you everyone again. Right? Thank you.
Lakshmi, can have anything to say?
No, sir, thank you very much. That's it. All gratitude. Thank you for all this.
Thank you, Lakshmi ji. Thank you. Okay. All right. See you then. Everyone.